Welcome to Build Strong Habits podcast channel. This is an audio podcast, so take your eyes off the screen, sit back, relax, and listen.
Okay, so today we're really going to dig into this whole idea of staying true to yourself,
Yeah.
even when it feels like the whole world's trying to push you in a different direction.
Right.
And I think there's no better book to kind of unpack that with than Ayn Rand's The Fountainhead.
Oh, absolutely.
You've probably heard of it.
For sure.
But even if you think you know the story, get ready, because I think there's going to be some aha moments,
Yeah.
even if you're familiar with it.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Howard Roark, right?
Yeah.
He's this architect who's basically like a force of nature.
He is.
He would rather watch his buildings crumble than compromise his vision.
Absolutely. And I think what's so fascinating is that
Yeah.
Rand doesn't just kind of drop us into this conflict, you know?
Yeah.
She lays the groundwork right from the beginning. When he gets expelled from architecture school,
Oh, yeah.
it's not just a plot point.
Right.
It's like a mission statement for the whole book.
Exactly. Right away, you get that sense that he's
Yeah.
he's obviously brilliant.
Yep.
But he refuses to design in a way that
Yeah.
feels fake or outdated to him.
Yeah.
Even if it means getting kicked out.
Yeah.
You can almost feel Rand saying
Yeah.
this guy's not messing around.
He's serious. Yeah. And that sets up this lifelong struggle
Right.
that he has against conformity, especially in this world of architecture. But it also raises the question for all of us listening,
Yeah.
can originality
Yeah.
really thrive when everyone's telling you to fit in?
Exactly. And then you have Peter Keating, right, who's Rourke's opposite.
Right.
He's all about playing the game,
Totally.
climbing the ladder. And he actually finds success pretty quickly.
He does, yeah.
But it makes you wonder,
Uh-huh.
what did he lose along the way?
That's the key question, isn't it? I mean, Keating really represents this idea that you can achieve, worldly success.
Yeah.
But maybe you sacrifice your true self in the process. And he becomes almost like a hollow shell of an architect, just churning out what's popular instead of what he really believes in.
It's almost like a cautionary tale
It is.
about what happens when you prioritize fitting in over following your own path.
For sure.
And then there's Dominique Francel.
Oh, yeah.
She's this incredibly complex character who, on the one hand, is drawn to Rourke's genius, but she's also incredibly cynical about the world's mediocrity and their relationship.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's complicated.
Complicated's a good word for it.
Yeah.
What I think is so interesting about her is that she embodies this internal conflict. She sees Rourke's brilliance, but almost despises the world for not recognizing it.
Yeah.
So she's fighting a battle within herself.
Yeah.
Which mirrors Rourke's external battle against conformity.
It's they're both fighting these battles,
Exactly.
but in different arenas. Okay, and we can't forget Ellsworth Toohey.
Oh, right. Toohey.
He's kind of the antagonist here.
Yeah.
But he's not just some mustache-twirling villain.
Yeah.
He's this critic who promotes collectivism.
Right.
This idea that the group is always more important than the individual. And he basically wants to control everyone.
Yeah.
And he sees Rourke as a major threat.
Of course.
Right? Because Rourke is everything. He's not.
Exactly. Toohey is the embodiment of everything that Rourke's fighting against. He champions mediocrity, conformity, and he uses his influence to try and crush anyone who stands out.
Squash any kind of individuality.
Yes, and their conflict really gets to the heart of this whole debate.
Yeah.
Individual expression versus the demands of society.
Exactly. And here's where I think it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Rand uses all this symbolism to make these ideas even more powerful.
Yeah.
So Rourke is often associated with granite, right?
Granite, this
this raw, enduring material.
Right, yeah.
And it's she's saying that he's unyielding, strong, and he can be shaped into something incredible, just like granite itself.
And, on the other hand, you have ice.
Oh, yeah.
Which is often connected to Dominique.
Yeah.
It reflects kind of her initial coldness.
Right.
But also this idea that she sees the world as flawed. Maybe even frozen in its ways.
Yeah, these symbols add a whole other layer of meaning.
Absolutely.
To the characters.
Yeah.
And then there's the Temple of the Human Spirit.
Yes.
This incredible project that Rourke designs.
Right.
He pours his heart and soul into it.
Yeah.
But it ends up becoming this battleground.
It does.
For his individualistic ideals.
Yeah, the temple is so pivotal because it brings this conflict between Rourke and society
Right there.
to a head.
Yeah.
2, he sees it as this monument to individualism and tries to sabotage it.
Right.
The whole thing turns into this lawsuit with Roark having to defend not just his design, but his entire philosophy.
Yeah, it's like the temple becomes a symbol for Roark's own fight for creative freedom.
Absolutely.
And then we have Gail Wynand.
Oh, Wynand.
This powerful publisher who runs this newspaper called The Banner.
Yeah.
He's initially drawn to the masses.
Right.
But his relationship with Roark and Dominique really challenges him to rethink like what he values.
Yeah, and Wynand embodies this tension between seeking validation from the crowd and staying true to your principles. You know, he built his success by giving people what they wanted, even if it meant compromising his own integrity.
Yeah.
But his interactions with Roark force him to confront that emptiness.
Yeah. It's like watching someone wake up to this whole new way of seeing the world.
Totally.
But then things get even more intense. Remember Peter Keating?
Yeah.
The guy who was all about playing it safe?
All right.
Well, he actually comes to Roark for help.
He did.
On this huge housing project called Cortlandt Homes.
Yeah.
And Roark agrees to do it.
Wow.
But only under one condition.
Okay.
No changes to his design. Not even a single detail.
That's a big ask.
It is.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Because Roark knows if his vision is compromised, the entire project is corrupted, he's willing to walk away from a major commission to protect the integrity of his work.
It really speaks volumes about how deeply he believes in what he's creating.
It's a huge risk.
It is.
And of course, things don't go as planned.
Oh, no.
When Roark sees that his designs have been altered, he takes a drastic, some might even say shocking step.
What does he do?
He dynamites the whole thing.
Why?
Cortlandt Homes.
He blows it up.
Gone. That's this act of defiance against a system that refuses to understand him, but it's also an act of creation. By destroying the compromise project, he's reclaiming his vision, refusing to let it be tarnished.
So he's like, if I can't have it my way, no one can.
Exactly.
Wow.
And this leads to one of the most captivating parts of the book.
Okay.
Roark's trial.
Oh, yeah.
It's in that courtroom that he delivers his most famous and most controversial speech.
Right.
This is where Rand really digs into her philosophy of objectivism.
Okay.
Roark defends what he calls selfishness.
Selfishness?
But it's not the kind of selfishness most people think of.
Yeah, like what's he talking about?
He's talking about pursuing your own values, your own creative vision, without shame or apology.
So it's like he flips the script on what society usually tells us about being selfless.
Exactly.
Interesting.
He's arguing that by embracing our individuality and striving for excellence, we actually contribute more to the world.
He sees true altruism as a form of self-sacrifice.
That holds people back.
He believes that by being true to ourselves, by pursuing our own rational self-interest, we unlock our full potential and create things of real value.
It's a radical idea.
It is.
But it forces you to question your assumptions about morality and success.
For sure. And this idea plays out
Yeah.
in his relationships, too.
Totally. Like his connection with Dominique
Right.
is especially complex.
It is.
She understands him on a deeper level than most,
Yeah.
but she also challenges him and pushes him to confront his own vulnerabilities.
It's like a dance, you know, a constant push and pull between admiration, passion, and a shared understanding of the struggle they both face in a world that doesn't always celebrate individuality.
Yeah, they see something in each other
Right.
that the rest of the world misses.
Exactly. And then there's Wynand,
Right.
who represents this struggle
Yeah.
between appealing to the masses and staying true to one's own principles.
Right. He tries to use his powerful newspaper,
Yeah.
The Banner, to support Roark
Okay.
and challenge the prevailing opinions.
Yeah.
But it's an uphill battle.
It is, you know, Wynand's arc is really tragic.
It is.
He sees the emptiness of caring to the lowest common denominator,
Yeah.
but he underestimates how deeply entrenched societal norms are.
And his failure highlights
Yeah.
how difficult it can be to change the way people think.
Exactly.
Even when you have a platform and good intentions.
It's a reminder that even the most influential people
Uh-huh.
can struggle against the tide of public opinion.
But even though Winan fails to sway the masses,
right,
Roark still manages to win his case.
He does.
It's a testament to the power of his conviction.
Yeah.
And his ability to articulate his vision.
His acquittal is a victory.
Right.
For the ideals he represents.
Yeah.
You know, it suggests that even in a world that seems to prioritize conformity, there's still hope for originality and creative expression to break through.
It's like saying, even in this world where it feels like everything's pushing you towards conformity, there's still a chance to be yourself.
And the fact that he wins over the jury shows that people can be persuaded by reason and authentic conviction.
It's a powerful moment.
It is.
It makes you wonder if maybe, just maybe, the tide is turning.
And speaking of turning tides, Roark ends up designing a skyscraper.
Oh, wow.
For Winan.
Okay.
A symbol of his enduring legacy and the triumph of his vision.
It's like this giant middle finger to everyone who tried to hold him down.
Exactly like Rand is saying, true creativity cannot be silenced.
Right.
It might take time.
Yeah.
It might take sacrifice. But it will find a way to rise above the noise.
And it makes you think, like, what are we building in our own lives?
Yeah.
Are we letting ourselves be defined by expectations? Or are we reaching for something truly unique and meaningful?
That's the core question the Fountainhead leaves us with. It's not just a story about an architect. It's a story about all of us. About the choices we make and the battles we fight to stay true to ourselves in a world that often demands conformity.
Yeah, it really makes you think about those skyscrapers in a whole new way.
Right. Oh, for sure.
You're not just buildings. There's statements.
Exactly. And you know, in Roark's case, that skyscraper becomes like a testament to the power of individual vision. It represents everything he fought for, you know? His refusal to compromise. His unwavering commitment to his own creative spirit.
Yeah, like Rand is saying, look, this is what's possible.
Totally.
When you dare to be different.
It's almost like a beacon, isn't it?
It is.
A symbol of hope for anyone who feels like they're struggling to express themselves. In a world that wants to put everyone in a box.
It's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day.
Oh, yeah.
To let other people's expectations dictate our choices.
Absolutely.
But this book reminds us that we all have that spark of creativity within us.
We do.
The question is, are we going to let it ignite?
Right. And I think that's what makes this whole deep dive so valuable, you know?
Totally.
It's not just about analyzing a novel. It's about connecting these ideas to our own lives, to the choices we make every day.
Exactly. So, as we wrap things up, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay.
Remember that Roark wasn't afraid to stand alone. He was willing to face rejection, criticism, even legal battles.
Wow.
To defend what he believed in.
Yeah.
And in the end, he created something truly extraordinary.
He did.
What would happen if you brought that same level of conviction to your own passions, your own creative pursuits?
It's a question worth pondering, isn't it?
It is.
What would the world look like if we all had the courage to embrace our individuality and build something truly unique?
Love that.
Maybe, just maybe, it would be a world filled with skyscrapers reaching for the sky, each one a testament to the power of human creativity and the audacity to be different.
That's a great place to leave it.
I think so.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Build Strong Habits. Let us know in the comments how you feel about it and what topics you'd love to hear next. Always remember, we're here to build strong habits together.